So next time I see Cardona, I'm gonna have to look at his head. Time out. I'm gonna edit that out.
Yo.
Fuck. Ladies and gentlemen, heels and heelettes, welcome back to another episode of Blunt Impact. I am your boy Chris G, joined by my tag team partner, the three-time baby maker champion Ness. We form the Pot Heels, and we are here with our co-host, Mary Jane. Ness, how you feeling today?
Feeling mighty fine on this lovely evening. True Heels, what's the deal? We are back with another edition of Blunt Impact. Getting ready for Against All Odds, man. I'm a little hype. For this show.
Yes, this is the go-home show for Against All Odds. We will be predicting that card, and then we will also be reviewing it sometime this weekend after it happens. But of course, we are here to talk about Impact Wrestling. We're here to talk about the June 10th episode of Impact Wrestling. But before we get into it, we got to remind you guys at home to please hit those thumbs up, like this video, share this video. It's almost, we're going into the summer. School's almost over. Share this with your kids' classmates. I don't care if they're 10 years old. Fuck it. Just share it with them. Their parents will like it. And if their parents don't like it, they'll like it. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. Don't share it with anyone. We're monetizing now. We can't be promoting that shit. Comment, of course. Leave your comments. Let us know how you feel about Against All Odds, again, about this episode, about us, whatever comes to your mind. And subscribe. You got to hit that subscribe button. You got to be a subscriber. You got to be part of the True Heel Heat family. Also, hit that little bell in the corner. Get these notifications. Don't get these hands. Get these notifications. You like that, right?
Yeah,
like
we segue the segue game is just so great.
Well, when you do this shit long enough,
honestly, between
it just comes out naturally.
You, Romeo, and Stat King, you guys are like the
Stat King's good too.
Yeah, the king of segues. Kings of segues, I should say.
Kings of segues. Oh, that's it. Put a shirt on it. Put it on a shirt. Before we get into this episode, of course, we are gonna light our Mary Jane. We're going to count down from 3, 2, 1, and then we're going to light up. Ness, are you ready?
Yes, sir. I am ready.
All right. We're going to start at 3, 2, 1. Oh, yeah. I also have a margarita because it was a rough week.
Enjoy it, man. Enjoy it.
We start off with this episode of Impact. Again, D'Lo Brown and Josh Matthews on commentary. I don't know what's up with Matt Striker.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll find out soon where he's been. He's been a little MIA. Maybe he had some prior commitments. He does MMA and other shit too, so maybe he's doing that. Well, we got Scott D'Amore. He's in the ring. Calls out Tony Khan, the All Elite Wrestling owner. They have to come to a decision of what to do about this world title match at Against All Odds. Of course, as per last week, what we covered, Scott D'Amore basically wants to make this a triple threat because Sami Callihan beat Moose by disqualification, so it gives him a right at the championship. Tony Khan comes out. He's nice and humble. Anything but humble towards Don Callis, I guess. Speaking of the devil himself, he comes out next. He's putting over Kenny, the greatest wrestler in the world. He's putting over Moose as the greatest athlete in Impact Wrestling. Talks about Sami being blacklisted from every company, including AEW. Whatever country you can point on the map, he's fucking blacklisted. He can't wrestle there. And he's dangerous. They don't really want that danger, that element of danger around them, especially not Don Callis and Kenny Omega. So they all come to an agreement. It's going to be Kenny versus Moose at Against All Odds. But this match will take place at Daly's Place, where AEW has been having their live shows for the last year and a half, roughly. And they're going to have fans there, so it's a great idea, in my opinion. And Sami Callihan is awaiting in the shadows. He gets the winner of this match at Slammiversary, which will be Impact's first event with fans back. So a lot to digest there. We go to the Elite backstage. They're not happy. Don Callis orders the Good Bros to take out Moose and Sammy. He tries to put a bounty on them. But instead, Scott D'Amore puts a halt to that shit. And he books a tag match for the Good Bros versus Sammy and a partner that he chooses. At Against All Odds in a street fight, which we'll get into that later, who he chooses or who's given to him pretty much. But yeah, I like this. I like Moose versus Kenny at Daly's Place. They deserve a crowd. They're gonna put on a show. And Sammy getting the winner at Slammiversary. Either way, I'm happy. So can't go wrong with that. How did you feel about this?
That's actually perfect storytelling. For the simple fact that they didn't, I kind of like the fact that they didn't make it a triple threat match, because we've been getting a bunch of multi-man championship matches across the board, not only in Impact, just across the board in wrestling promotions all over the place, honestly. But I like the fact that they still honored Sammy getting a win over the number one contender Moose. You know, wins and losses matter. They made that known, and that's just showing and solidifying that wins and losses actually do matter. The whole segment was pretty decent. Everybody played their part exactly how you expected them to play it. Tony was, there just being cool, calm, collected. Scott was there handling business, and Don Callis was there just being a dick. So the way that he was talking about Sammy, though, I was getting some shoot vibes. I was like, whoa, this is a worker. This is a shoot here, brother, because he was pulling any punches on the information he was giving up on Sammy. But I think it went over real well. And then, like, the fact that they're having it in Daly's Place, one, it's about fucking time we got actual Impact talent. Well, it's not going to be on Dynamite, but at least they're in the fucking venue. We finally get an Impact talent in an AEW ring. Granted that it's an Impact match, but I think that if there are live fans, which they didn't really say if there were or not. Or was it going to be fans? I don't really remember.
They didn't say, but
Yeah.
I mean, considering that they've been having live fans at Daly's Place, I think that's the reason why they put this match there. This feels like a main event that deserves fans.
Right, and I would like to think that they would give fans a chance to see this, even though Impact's been like no fans. But yeah, this is a match. This is definitely a match that needs fans. Like there needs to be a crowd to witness the magic that these two men are about to make. Yeah, but aside from that, the whole trying to put a hit out on Sammy, which is hilarious, because you would think that they would try to do that to Moose, because in my opinion, Moose seems like the bigger threat to Kenny's championship than Sammy. And Sammy's just crazy. Like, so if he does some crazy shit that can borderline get him disqualified, that's on him. Kenny might be fucked up, but he'll still be champion. Like, Moose can actually go out there and beat Kenny Omega, in my opinion. Like, he looks very like he fits the part of someone that would need to beat Kenny Omega if that were to happen. He's much bigger, he's more athletic, stronger. So, that makes sense if that were to happen. Sami Callihan, and I'm just throwing this out as, this is hypothetically, Sami Callihan beats Kenny Omega. It's like, how? Like, there's no way. Like, nobody's going to believe Sami Callihan beating Kenny Omega. That's just one. Two, they're definitely not going to believe that over Moose beating Kenny Omega, because like Moose Sami Callihan. And that's no slight to Sami Callihan, but I'm just going off of what that like an average fan will see, like maybe even a casual, maybe an AEW fan that doesn't watch Impact is seeing, oh, Moose, I've heard about him. It's Sami Callihan. I heard about him. Which one, you think they'll pay attention to more? So, and especially being on a pay-per-view, yeah, that's definitely gonna, well, for this pay-per-view anyway, I think that's gonna be able to draw the fans in. Then at Slammiversary, if they stick around, which hopefully they do, that'll lead to more eyes for pay-per-view, more pay-per-view buys. If Kenny retains against Moose somehow, which I hope it's a dirty finish and not a clean victory, but we'll get into that later. Yeah, then Kenny, he's going to bring those PPV buys. The buy rates are going to go up like they have been for every pay-per-view that, they've had so far. So I think I like, again, I know that was a lot. Again, versus them having another triple threat match like we've been seeing. I like how they spaced everything out.
I would have been cool either way with the triple threat, but
yeah, I'm sure it would have been good, but yeah.
I'm glad we're getting this match 1-on-1, and if it's in front of fans, we'll get into that later. But next up, we got Rosemary versus Havoc. If Havoc wins, she is inserted into the match against Rosemary and Deonna Purrazzo at Against All Odds for the Knockouts Championship. Starts off hot. Rosemary hits a couple spears, cuts a commercial break, and then Havoc is dominating. Goes back and forth a little bit, but Rosemary just breaks down Havoc and hits another spear and gets the win in a surprise. Decent match, unexpected. After the match, they both get jumped by Deonna and the crew, Kimberly and Susan. Susan grabs a mic, calls out Tasha Steelz, but books her in a match against Kimberly. Kimberly is not too happy, but she has a match against Tasha Steelz. This is a better match, solid back and forth. Tasha gets the win though. She gets the momentum in their favor. There will be a tag team match at Against All Odds for the Knockouts Championship match. It will tag team championship. It'll be Susan and Kimberly versus Fire and Flavor. Susan and Deonna's arguing on the outside, but then they get inside and start beating down the tag champs. Rosemary and Havoc come out and demolish everyone and tease that they might be joining forces. So, yeah. I wouldn't mind seeing them as a tag team. That's a nice little tag team to throw in that division. Yeah. And for the matches themselves, I liked Rosemary and Havoc's first match a couple weeks ago. Or I believe it was 2 or 3 weeks ago that they had an opening match. I think that was better than this match that they had here. But the Kimberly and Tasha Steelz match wasn't bad.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't at all. This was very good. Both back-to-back matches. And they did progressively get better. Havoc and Rosemary was good, but I did enjoy Tasha Steelz and Kimberly a little bit more. But I like how they paced everything together. The first match happened, and then Deonna Purrazzo, Kimberly, Susan come out. They laid waste to those two ladies. They have their match against Tasha Steelz with Kiera Hogan on the outside. Just for them to have a breakdown, then they come back after they regain their composure and stand tall. So I'm pretty sure they're gonna. Well, obviously, yeah, they're probably going to be the next in line because I don't see Rosemary beating Deonna. So yeah, why not make them already? More, they already gave it to us right there. Like they're a tag team now. They're gonna go after the Knockouts Tag Team Championships. So. I mean, and if they win it, I'm cool with that. Like, I didn't think it would be so soon that Fire and Flavor would be like 2-time champs. But fuck it, why don't we just make them 3-time champs of that? Like, let's just give them all the gold. Nah, but that was decent. But then like the next match, Tasha Steelz versus Tasha Steelz with Kiera Hogan versus Kimberly with Deonna Purrazzo and Susan. That was like they turned it up a little bit more than the previous match. A lot of back and forth action, a lot of hard hitting. The chops that Tasha Steelz was hitting Kimberly with, and she was taking them too. I'm like, yeah, this is like female strong style or some shit like that. But nah, that was a good match. But again, I like how the post match they're all rumbling. and then Havoc and Rosemary come back out, lay waste to everybody, and stand tall. A double choke slam on Kiera Hogan. Not gonna lie, looking at cheeks, whew, that was beautiful.
Damn, we're gonna get in trouble for that one. I gotta check the ad settings for that one. Might have to cut that one out.
I was admiring the beauty of the woman. I'm a heterosexual male. There's nothing wrong with that.
I'm on the same boat with you. I just didn't want to.
But yeah, just keep that on. That was just for us. That's a blooper.
Next up, we got a Josh Alexander interview. He puts over the Iron Man match, his victory. He calls himself the Iron Man of professional wrestling. Ace Austin and Madman Fulton interrupt. And Ace basically wants the next at the title, but he has to go through 4 other guys at Against All Odds to get that title. We'll get into that match later. But we have a little preview coming up because it's Rohit Raju and Chris Bay, who are 2 of the contestants in that match, versus the other 2 contestants in that match, Petey Williams and Trey Miguel. Good, fast-paced, solid tag match, straight to the point. Not too long, not a lot of breaks in between, just a lot of fast-paced, flippy shit. To be honest, nice athletic exchange.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah. I mean, I like it.
Yeah.
I don't like too much of it. Sometimes I think it's overkill. But we had some nice exchanges between Trey Miguel and Chris Bay. Trey had a nice little leg lock on Rohit Raju while he did a nice fisherman suplex to Chris Bay at the same time. He makes Raju tap. Faces get the win. Ace Austin and Fulton come out after the match and attack the faces. But out comes Josh Alexander. This turns into a nice little brawl. The contenders basically take out Madman Fulton while Josh Alexander works on Ace. And then they crazy. I'm going to try to explain this the best I can. Petey Williams goes up and hits to the top rope and hits a super ultimate Canadian destroyer from the top rope on Madman Fulton with the assistance from the other contenders. Looked pretty dope. Never thought I'd see that. And it caught me off guard. Like, I'm still processing. Like, did I really see that on an episode of Impact? Like, because that was pretty cool. So how'd you feel about the match? And how'd you feel about that spot? Because
that shit was crazy. I'm gonna start there.
Because I've
never seen that before. Like, the only type of maybe variation I've seen is that the Panama Sunrise from Adam Cole, where he just jumps off the second rope and then he does the Canadian Destroyer. But yeah, I've never seen no shit like that. I'm surprised I haven't seen anything like that. Yeah, the match was exactly what you thought it would be. It's an exhibition match, tag team, high pace, like high action, fast paced. Definitely a lot of flippy shit, but I love flippy shit, so I'm not complaining whatsoever. But you got the little technical aspect from Trey Miguel. All right, fuck. I'm just talking about the flippy shit because that was my favorite part of the match. When Trey Miguel met Chris Bay, I need that singles match. I smoke a lot, so I don't remember if it happened before, but if it did, I need another one because, yeah, those 2 were definitely the highlight of the match in my opinion. But everybody did good. Yeah, I'm just ready to see this Fatal 5-Way. Now, this is a multi-man match that I expect, like, is going to be great. It's the X Division. Well, the chance at a number 1 contendership in the X Division. These guys are going to go all out. All the talent in this match, first of all, it's going to be crazy. Yeah, we'll just wait for later because I always get ahead of myself. I'm sorry.
Don't jump the gun.
Yeah, no.
Stop jumping the gun. Next up, speaking of jump the gun, we got Violent by Design. They got a nice little vignette. Cody Deaner is tagging with Rhino at Against All Odds, defending the tag team championships. They are under the free bird rules. Right? I said that right? Free bird rules?
Yeah, free bird rule.
Which basically means anybody in the stable can defend the titles. So they're going to be defending those titles against, I fucking forgot, to be honest. We'll get into it later, though. It's so high, I can't remember. I really can't remember. Like, it's on the tip of my tongue, and I can't fucking remember it. But it's all good. It's all good. Don't even tell me. Don't even tell me. We're gonna we're gonna figure it out. It's gonna come to me like a switch. Eric Young finally trusts Cody Deaner. He's going to do him right. He's going to defend the title. But Eddie Edwards is a sickness, and Joe Doring needs to remove that sickness tonight. So we have a match between Joe Doring and Eddie Edwards. Basic power versus speed. Doring dominating the match for the most part. Eddie starts to gain momentum, but then Cody Deaner trips him right in front of the ref. The ref just says, fuck it, throws the match out, calls DQ. So then they start beating down Eddie, but Kojima comes out and makes the save. We get a nice little slugfest preview of what we're going to see at Against All Odds between Joe Doring and Satoshi Kojima. I'm just ready. I'm ready for Doring and Kojima to beat the shit out of each other. That's it.
Agreed. That's all I got. Yeah, I'm here for it.
Before we get into the main event, we're going to talk about a few segments that happened throughout the night. Yeah, nothing crazy. We missing Swinger Daddy. That's all I'm saying. We missing Swinger Daddy. Every week I don't see a Swingers Palace. It's just like, I don't know what to say, Daddy.
Yeah, man.
But we get chapter 2 of How to Be a Professional Wrestler with Brian Myers. This was all right. Still with Sam Beal.
Yeah.
He's giving him some shitty philosophy. He says a promo is a match and a match is a promo. Sam Beal looks mildly as is all of us when we heard that for the first time.
Yeah.
Sam Beal starts cutting he's basically doing a promo class. He cuts a promo on Matt Cardona, and he starts putting him over on his hot fiance, which I agree wholeheartedly. And it's all wrong. You got to bury them. He's talking about that. He has male pattern baldness, which got me looking at Zack Ryder's head, and it's like, is the top of his head like? Does he got those little spots, and he got everything else covering it up? So next time I see Cardona, I'm gonna have to look at his head. Time out. I'm gonna edit that out.
Yo. You know what's crazy? I wasn't even going to say anything. I was going to laugh, but I wasn't like. I was going to laugh to myself. Yeah.
The first chapter, How to Be a Professional, was better, but this one wasn't too bad.
Yeah, this one was the first one was definitely better. This was like, all right, because it's kind of making me like this guy, and I keep saying that I pretty much am. Like, I'm a fan of his now. Brian Myers is pretty much just shedding another light. They just need to. I honestly think they need to get him away from Matt Cardona. Like, is this what they're going to keep doing? Like, no, just let him go on, get a protege, Sam Beal, which he's goofy as shit, but he's pretty decent in the ring. It could turn into something.
But he got charisma.
Yeah, he definitely.
Like, you can tell he got something there. And he got a funky look, so.
Yeah. Brian Myers will, like, give him a complete makeover type shit. Like, he might just, like, dress like Myers or, like, some tough guy shit. And then, like, all he needs is an attitude. Like, he'll be all right. It'll work. It'll definitely work out for him.
We'll see what happens in the future with Sam Beal. Speaking of Sammy Callahan before, we see Scott D'Amore. He's fed up. He's not having this bouncy shit. He's trying to take heads. So he books the tag match. Sammy's not happy about that tag match. He says he doesn't need a partner, but he's not scared. Tommy Dreamer comes and interrupts. An enemy of my enemy is my friend. Like that. Start teasing some tension between these guys.
Oh no, they're not starting. This is actually a very, very well placed form of continuity. No, but I think this is all leading to, like, Callis isn't a EVP of Impact anymore. He's about to go with Kenny and AEW, or so they say. So, like, that's the way to write him off, so he can go be in AEW with Kenny as his manager. So apparently that's what's happening. I don't know if you heard or not.
I heard, but, like, I haven't seen anything concrete about it, and kind of hope not, because Don Callis has been doing a good job as an EVP. Because since him and Scott really took over, Impact's been on the rise. So
oh well, yeah.
I could only imagine that's a joint thing. So,
But
but
yeah,
if he wants to do what he wants to do and be Kenny's manager, it's even better because he's great as the invisible hand. Next up, we get a Steve Macklin promo. Honestly, forgot what he said, but
I liked it.
looks intense. Yeah,
Yeah,
he looks intense.
I don't remember what he said neither, but I was paying attention. I think he was talking about like his brothers or some shit, not like actual
Yeah.
like people he cares about and shit. I know he was in the military, so I think that's probably what he meant. Like it was like that's what he used for the promo, the basis of the promo. But it was
Yeah,
decent.
that's what it looked like, and he was just very intense. Though I like the intensity,
Yeah.
and he's actually not a bad hand. If you've seen him in WWE as Steve Cutler, he's not bad. So
Yeah.
hopefully, we'll see what kind of shine he gets. We get a Moose vignette, talks about finally becoming champion this Saturday. Hopefully, says the better man won at Sacrifice when he was up against Rich Swann. So you see that little show of respect. Maybe they're trying to build up Moose to be the hero of Impact a little bit. I'm here for it. And then we get an All About Me segment. Rachel Ellering is the host, I guess. That's the way this show works. But she came with Jordan Grace. She wasn't invited. They didn't have anywhere for her to sit, but she found the spot. She sat down. Kelly with a cage trying to kick her out, trying to insinuate that she shouldn't be there without getting his head kicked off. He did a good job. Jordan Grace didn't kick anybody this episode. She was getting real awkward until they asked, why is Jordan here? And Rachel was like, well, Grace is my partner, and now it's starting to feel like disrespect. So why don't we get into the ring? Jordan Grace cuts her off, and she's feeling the disrespect as well. So she challenges Tennille. It looks like next week we'll have a one-on-one match between the two. But now we get into the main event. We get a Willie Mack interview. He's coming for Morrissey. Rich Swann says save a piece because he's gonna kick that ass against all odds. Might even go out there since it's a no disqualification match, and if Morrissey wants some, he's gonna check him. Max says he doesn't want that. He wants to go out dolo from beginning to finish of the match. Don't come out there. Let me do what I got to do. So we get Morrissey versus Mack in the main event. Morrissey's dominating the start. We get a little commercial break. Morrissey's still dominating, breaking down Mack with his power and aggression. Mack regains the momentum though, trips him into some steel stairs, hits him with a few chair shots. Morrissey regains momentum, hits his own chair shots. He chokes Max, chokes his eyes, I guess is the best way to he just wraps the chain around his Max's eyes and just pulls and chokes it pulls. Kind of brutal for a regular episode of Impact. It was cool though. Most of his matches, Willie Mack getting killed. Puts Mack in the corner. He puts a chair there. He's gonna end his career, I guess. So Rich Swann makes the save. Rich Swann makes the save. Security comes, breaks it up. Morrissey gets through. It's about to kill Rich Swann, but he decides to leave. But as he's leaving, Rich Swann hits him with a chair shot. Just see you later. Take that home with you. And they will be having a one-on-one match on Saturday at Against All Odds as well. So what do you think about the match? I thought it was better than the first one.
Yeah, it was. It was honestly, it was just something for Morrissey to look strong.
Sammy Callahan is I'm dreaming.
Agreed.
Jordan Grace with Rachel Ellering versus Tennille Dashwood with Kayla with a K. I'm gonna go with Tennille.
I'm gonna go with Jordan Grace.
Next up, we got Fire and Flavor versus Kimberly and Susan for the Impact Knockouts Tag Team Championship. Fire and Flavor retains.
Hell yeah.
Fatal 5-way match to determine the number one contender for the Impact X Division Championship. We got Petey Williams versus Trey Miguel versus Ace Austin with Madman Fulton versus Chris Bay versus Rohit Raju. I'm going to say Trey Miguel.
Ace Austin. Who I want it to be is Chris Bay. So Chris Bay wins.
To be honest, I'll take any 5 of these guys. But
yeah, that's not we all win. Who cares?
Even Rohit. Rohit's like the least, exciting guy in this match, but he's still good enough to have a good match. So
exactly.
I don't mind any of these guys. Next up, we got Rich Swann with Willie Mack versus W. Morrissey. Regular match, no regular rules. I can't see Morrissey losing to Rich Swann as much as Rich Swann, needs a win because his last match was basically Kenny.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go with Morrissey.
I'm gonna go, and I'm just because I'm high. I'm gonna go with Swan with a roll up.
So I was thinking too, but I don't know. Violent by Design, Cody Deaner and Rhino with Eric Young and Joe Doran versus Decay. What the fuck? Come on, kid. Get it together.
Yo, I
Crazy
almost burned
Stephen
my
Black
face.
stories. Damn, man. Fucking Decay. I'm sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, everybody watching that one, I'm sorry. It was Decay this whole time. But it doesn't matter because Violent by Design is going to retain. Should be a decent match.
Yeah.
Deonna Purrazzo putting up her championship against Rosemary and only Rosemary. I can't see Rosemary, especially after the shit they pulled today with Havoc. Can't see Rosemary winning. Going with Deonna Purrazzo.
The Demon Slayer shall retain.
Satoshi Kojima with Eddie Edwards versus Joe Doran. The rest of Violent by Design. This is a tough one. Is Kojima really just gonna come in and jobs Doran like that? You know what I mean?
Hell no.
Well, these guys have history.
Well, yeah.
So maybe he wouldn't mind doing the honors for Doran.
I don't know. I say he won by the disqualification.
Okay, I can see that. I'm gonna say Joe wins. I'm gonna say Joe Doran wins. And finally up, we get the championship match taking place at Daly's Place. Kenny Bogard Omega, with Don Callis, the Invisible Hand, versus Moose. The fact that this is going to be live, I'm pretty sure there's going to be fans. I feel like it's too early to pull the trigger, but I think Moose is going to get it.
That's what see. This is another, and I'm going to big book this, and this is because I'm completely high. So my thing is, they're at Daly's Place. The Good Brothers can't interfere. But who at Daly's Place? A tag team that can. The Young Bucks. Young Bucks play the roles of Gallows and Anderson, and they spoil the match for Moose. Kenny retains, but it's not a clean finish. So
I'm gonna change my my pick to Kenny Omega because I forgot about the Young Bucks.
that was just, and honestly, bro, there was no indication that would happen, but that was just off the top of my head.
It makes sense.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Sometimes I hit with these big bookings. I don't know, but yeah, there's no way that if Kenny retains, it's not going to be a clean finish over Moose. They're not going to. There's no way they're going to derail all of this momentum and all this build up for Moose for just a blow off type of match, and for it to be over right then and there, and not just rematches and rematches. They're actually keeping the story going. Moose hasn't taken no L's. So come on, man. True. And if he does, make it dirty. Keep him strong. So, but yeah, that's the way I see it. That Kenny's definitely going to retain.
Well, I guess we'll find out at Against All Odds this Saturday. We will be reviewing that. Not after there, not live.
Yeah.
But it will be so soon after it airs. That was a good episode, good go home show though before this Impact Plus special. A lot of good matches going into the special, so excited to see what happens next week on Blunt Impact. But for this week, we have to say goodbye. Ness, where can we find you at?
You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Skenny__Kravitz. Catch me right here on the True Ill Heat YouTube channel, one half of Fusion of Honor. with my man, the Stat King, the man of 1,004 numbers, where we review MLW Fusion and Ring of Honor. Catch me right here on Blunt Impact. And Joyce Jabronis, my man Chris G. We form the Pot Hills. Catch me also on NX3 with, once again, Chris G, and the RAC, Romeo Anthony Cologne, where we review NXT on the Roundtable Rebels, pop up on the roundtables. Catch me on the roundtable of When Your Shadows Fall or When Our Shadows Fall, whatever the fuck the name of the NWA joint. I was on there with Stat King. That was a good show. Go check that out. Come check us out on the NXT in your house live after the pay-per-view. You know, NXT review on there. Yeah, and when we come back from break for True Toxicity, I got a perfect topic. I got a perfect fucking topic.
It's good. I like that.
Yeah.
That will be the first episode for sure to pop us off.
Yeah.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at True Heel Chris G. You can find me here on the True Heel Heat YouTube channel. Blunt Impact, of course. Joints and Jabronis with my man, the 3-time baby making champion Ness. NX3 with our good brother Romeo Anthony Cologne. Roundtable specials, wherever you can find me, you'll find me there. You'll see me. Just watch. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the like button. Comment, share, hit the notification bell. Be part of the True Heel Heat family. We want to see you guys next week. We will see you guys next week because we have to get out of here. So, for the 3-time baby making champion Ness, for our co-host Mary Jane, I am your boy Chris G. We will see you guys next week. Peace.
Peace, sucker.
Sucker.